Hey everyone, welcome to Broke Rehab, the channel where we talk about getting rid of debt and building wealth so you can live well. Today, I am reviewing Dear Debt by Melanie Lockert, who is a well-known blogger in the personal finance community. For those of you who aren't familiar with Melanie, she completed her graduate degree with $81,000 worth of debt, and it took her about 9 years to pay it all off. Not only does Dear Debt give advice on how to pay off large sums of debt, but it also chronicles her story of how she got into all of that debt and then her journey through paying it all off. So right off the bat, I really loved how relatable Melanie's story was. She didn't have a unique advantage like living at home or earning a six-figure income. She actually paid off all of her debt on a super low income, and at one point she was even on food stamps. Also, I really loved how practical Melanie's advice was for modern women. Often I feel like the money mustache and the Dave Ramsey communities can be super extreme, but Melanie realizes that extreme debt payoff is neither healthy nor sustainable, and she gives really practical advice on how to enjoy your life while still being super frugal. For example, when a lot of people make the decision to get serious about paying off their debt, they often feel like they can no longer go out with friends, and that's not true. And Melanie gives a lot of advice on how to get around that. For instance, instead of waiting for your friends to invite you to hang out, you can practice taking the initiative and inviting your friends out on a frugal activity like going hiking or hosting a potluck. When you do that, you let your friends know that you still want to spend time with them, but this way you're setting the parameters of that hangout activity. Another example is if you want to go bar hopping, you don't have to take out your credit card or your debit card, but instead you can take a set number of cash so you have a limit on how much you can spend for the evening. Another thing that I really liked about this book is that she focuses on the emotional aspect of paying off debt, which is great because debt is super emotional. Not only does she talk about topics like debt fatigue or spending triggers, but she really discusses practical advice on how to handle them. And finally, I really loved how quick of a read this book was. I took a couple of weeks to read this book, and that's because I really did not try. The first couple of days, I think I got through 40% in the book, and then I took a couple of breaks because life happens. But I really love being able to start and finish a book because I have a super short attention span. So I guess the only critique that I could make of this book is that she really isn't saying anything new. And that's a pretty tall order to make in the personal finance community because after a while, everything kind of starts to sound the same. That's just the nature of personal finance. There's only so much that you can say. But I do like that Melanie does discuss the emotional aspects of debt. She talks a lot about her story and using side hustles in order to get out of debt. And I really wish she had spent more time there because I really feel that's her unique perspective of paying off debt. So I'd recommend this book to anyone who is just getting started with paying off their debt. Obviously, there's not going to be a lot of new information here. So if you are well on the path towards paying off debt, you're probably not going to get a lot of nuggets of wisdom. But if you are just getting started, or if you're in college and you just tacked on a whole bunch of debt, this book is probably going to really help motivate you and really give you some practical advice on how to get through it. Well, that's my review, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Next up, I'll be reading Your Money or Your Life by Vicki Robin, and I'll be using the hashtag BGRBooks on Instagram and Twitter. And until next time, I wish you all progress and prosperity. Take care.